And the effect is very big. And if it's also there with mantras, yantras, this is very promising. Okay, well, okay. So, look at what kind of practice there is, but, unfortunately, we don't have time for it, but I have to voice it. This is when you place your finger at the point between the eyebrows, inhale through one nostril, exhale through the other, concentrating on the point between the eyebrows. And so, in turn, back and forth, back and forth. Here is one of the exercises. And then, on the inhale, do a kumhaka delay. The stomach is inflated, the gaze with consciousness. And with the tongue is directed upwards. That is, consciousness at the point between the eyebrows, gaze at the point between the eyebrows, the tip of the tongue climbs there. At the point between the eyebrows. Here, it's called hikari mudra. You can also throw your head back at all. Yes, there are actually transitions like this, when you manage to introduce a small part of prana into the central channel, at the expense of something there. It's in general. That's it, it's gone. Here, but don't abuse it too much. Yes. It's better that I hold a seminar on this topic sometime later. Well, so that with a feeling, with a sense, with an arrangement, so that you yourself do not invent a bicycle. But everything is under supervision. So wonderful. Questions? Here's the question. Yes. Now, here they have such a question, or rather such a slight disagreement. Will you read the letter on which I asked questions? Yes. In this chakra, inside the triangle, there is always a combination of the letters A, Y, M, forming the mantra. This is the inner atmospirit, whose essence is pure mind. It fills, resembles a flame. Above, it is half the moon, and above it is the letter Ma before the manifestation of Makar in the form of a dot. And even higher it is necessary, whose whiteness is the same as the whiteness of the Deva ball or the moon. And the moon. That's the next question. It describes about the moon, or rather half of the moon above it. That's where the first person says it's Maya. And above the mind it turns out Maya, above the letter, as a manifestation of the Bindu point, well, it's already necessary there. And second, it's a person who just says that it's actually described by the Om sound. Well, like how Om is drawn, it is drawn. So it's just, well, as if the Bindu is placed at the top. Oh friends, well, you questions ask. I hardly understand it and less. You see, you swung wow. I don't even know what to say. I do not know, friends, unfortunately, here I am. In general, both had such arguments. I think they are both right in their own way. Yes, friends, no. And I don't see what the difference is there. I don't see it either. Do you understand what a dispute can be? Do you know what was the first time when there was no time? Or what was on the left, what was on the right, in a place where there was no space? That is, some points, you have to understand, they are allegorical. And here is the degree of allegory. It is needed for what? In order to completely get attached from abstraction to at least some specifics. Well, here it is. And that's why, to be honest, I am. No, we need to reflect, think. Maybe there really is a very deep symbolism there, but by God, I give up, I give up, I give up. Not today. No. We have everything. We have an open university. There are departments there. We have a bright future. Oh, it's a job for them. That's the job for them. The student who does not surpass the teacher is bad. I want to become old, toothless, stupid. In an old man like that, you know that Vlad is like that. So I'll be on you. Visit the Kundalini pulpit on Thursdays. That's it. Come on, fill up your pulpit. Okay, all right. Questions, friends, there is very little time. Who has what? And in touch, let's ask. There is nothing. Everything is unclear. Don't be scared, me too. Well, what? Yes, please. And Bendu, is she still somewhere? In this chakra or somewhere higher up there? This is the topic of the next seminar. So, who else has what? Hooray! That's it for everyone. I realized, already inside, after all, at the intersection. By the way, we want to tell you, young man, about. Or, after all, it's spreading. Because there are some descriptions such as crows, chakras like funnels. No, well, there are a lot of descriptions. There are like lotus flowers, like funnels, like whirlwinds, whatever there is. That is, it's perfect. That is. And what kind of remark is there, right? Yeah. The biologist's point of view. And what's there? Yes, the third one. Yeah. Well, that's what it means. Ivan Efremov discovered the third eye. Yeah. But this, generally speaking, is not a secret. All adjacent ones, even those who now live, have lizards. A quickie and ordinary green ones. Stayed. They have a diamond shape. Yeah. But they have a slightly different structure of the skull. They have it looking up. That is, it's not between the eyebrows, but almost like the top of the head. No, the thing is, there's a skull there during evolution over there. Yes. Yes. And it means that there really is this place in the skull, there is a hole there. In some reptiles, it means that it is tightened only by the skin on top. And indeed there is a light-sensitive organ. If we talk about a person, then evolutionarily it is homologous to such a gland in the brain as the epiphysis. Epiphysis he. So, can we quickly include this device of the human brain in Wikipedia, so that you can see where it is? That it is a very interesting hormone called melatonin. Melatonin, it is responsible for circadian rhythms, for sleep and wakefulness. Yeah. Here, its antagonist is serotonin, or it is also called stress hormone. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to tell you more deeply, because I'm not an anthropologist, but here's what I remember, let's say. But for others, accordingly, in the wind of evolution, it is as if it is already a skull, already completely overgrown, submerged, inside the brain of the gland from the reptile. Yes, I heard. These are birds and respectively. No, people did not come from reptiles, let's say, more from amphibians. I see. Here, but the bottom line is that others have this gland, it is immersed in depth. And they have to the surface, right? That is, either perception. Well, I also read that the perception of light. Well, that is, as if that. That's if you're there who? Well, imagine, yes, a dinosaur or someone. You look down, and the danger may be from above. As soon as the shadow found. Sometimes there is such an explanation. In general, it is very interesting. But the most important thing is that it is really connected with such very deep structures of the brain. Completely ancient and archaic. And of course well, have you found it, right? Well, something. Maybe. Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact. Structure. And well, more I am now. Can it be increased? No, some kind of bad picture, small. We're going to remove it now. The trouble with the mouse. And what's the trouble with the mouse? Isn't she there? Well, yes. No. Well, take it from there, from this. So, nowhere. In the center. It's almost in the center is also called a bump. I showed it. That's it. Come on, somebody. Right here. Chick. No, wait. It's written nowhere, but where? Here. Here I am mice. Here it is, here it is, here it is, can't you read this? It's kind of a talent. Read? What is it called? Epiphysis corpus. And that's it. Painep. Epiphysis or the case of Painep. That is, the central apple, as it is. Where did it go? And these. Clearly, it's not even an apple of us. In COVID, in our terminology, yes. Well, actually, on the contrary. In theory, on the contrary. Yes. In theory. In theory, it looks like a point. It is finding somewhere that is connected with the point of the window. But this is at the next seminar. I will tell you one interesting thing. Rather, yes, it seems to me that it is more likely not according to talent. Here he will see everywhere. And the one like Bendu rather swims. Well, here is this complex bunch of everything at all. And we're going to climb, I think. No, friends, you remember, yes, yoga is not a substitute for science, yes. But you understand that we do not have to realities, and what science discovers should not contradict. And both. Do you know how it is here, too? On both sides. Therefore, Kanya. Again, what do I require of all students? Friends need to, remember, yes, sharpen their minds, be smart, get an education, including this information. What is a very bad impression, I remember, I was made by one, Let's call him a guru. When the conversation went on for a long, long time, it went on there. Well, not a conversation there. In one place he is there so to speak, and then he writes. Well, generally speaking. Back in the 19th century, scientists learned how to get living organisms from inanimate matter. After that, well, somehow the belief that he was talking about yoga started a little bit. Yes, disappear. Okay, great. Great point, thank you very much, great. So, who else has what? Nobody has anything. So look, friends, what am I asking of you? Review. Please visit the website. Especially those who are not physically here, but via the internet. So, write at least so that there is feedback. Because when a physical person came, he didn't like it, he spat and left. And it's immediately clear I didn't like it. But who is in touch, it's not clear at all. Therefore, I ask for your feedback on this seminar. Place it on our courses on the website of the Chakra Open Yoga course, less than Earl greater than. There is a section of reviews for lectures, seminars, retreats there. Please write. Not the same thing. And something there on Twitter, on social networks, this is already advertising, so that others can find us. Wonderful, friends. Are there any questions in touch? What are they doing there? Writing? What? What? That? Nothing. Don't write. Quiet. Quiet. Everyone, friends, I congratulate you. We have, as they say, considered Ajna Chakra in the first approximation. Hooray!